What's up, y'all? Polo Sports Talking Entertainment. Um, Back again with another one. Be sure to hit that like button, sub to the channel if you're not a member, and also hit the notifications to get all of my content. The Phoenix Suns took a fall last night to the Pelicans, 118 to 103. Uh, and now we are all tied up, man. You know, the Pelicans are acting like they don't even need Zion right now. Okay. And that to me is the biggest story besides Brandon Ingram coming in and pretty much just dominating and putting the team on his back. Uh, he had 30 and 5 and Valanciunas. And I'm gonna talk about Valanciunas in a little while because I've always felt like in my humble opinion, I felt like Memphis should have stuck with him, but they chose to make that move. So, but that's a whole nother story. He had 26 and 15. CJ McCullough chipped in with 18. Jones had 13. Uh, and then for the Suns, um, Chris Paul, man, he not his best game, man. He had 11 assists, but only 4 points. But it was DeAndre Ayton that led all scores. He had 23 and 8. JaVale McGee off the bench chipped in with 14. Cam Johnson had 13, and Jay Crowder had 11. Um, Now the series is tied, and look, I gotta give props to the brother Ticket TV. Now, Ticket TV man he came on here and basically has stated that the Pelicans can go ahead and actually defeat the Phoenix Suns. Now, I still don't think that they're gonna beat the Suns, but the Suns are under more pressure, without a doubt. They're under more pressure, and I also got to give credit to Willie Green and what he's doing because he's becoming. It's like they're getting better with every single game, with more and more pressure mounted upon them. Now, the reason why I give the brother Ticket TV a just a little bit of some wiggle room, so to speak, in terms of actually giving the Pelicans, this series, is the fact that the thing that was pointed out is that in the regular season, the Pelicans have the edge over the Suns. Okay, and I know it's just regular season, but they have played them, and that's something that they can actually gloat about. But still, this series is not over yet. It's tied up, and we have to see how they do when they go back to Phoenix. It's going to be interesting to see how Chris Paul responds to this, and also how because I still felt like Mikael Bridges, he still gave effort and everything, but I was looking last night and I saw something on Inside the NBA, and Charles Barkley had said something that was very key. He said that somebody else is going to have to get a dub in terms of the point total, and who's scoring 20. He said somebody else is going to have to chip in with the points, and that's very true. It can't just be JaVale McGee coming off the bench and everything. It's got to be a lot more buckets given. Now I understand also the defense too as well. If Chris Paul is older now, he probably could have carried the team and carried the load had it been a couple of years ago, but the fact that he's getting older, and on top of that, he's had some injuries this season, or that injury this season or whatever. He can only do so much, but I'm still not giving that a pass because they're not going to hold, they're not going to use any of that, as a sympathy grab or anything like that. They don't care about you. That just like they don't care about Joel Embiid, just like they don't, they could care less who's hobbled or who's fighting through injuries or whatever. They don't care about that, and they're going to use that as a psychological advantage. And they don't care who's missing either. You know, they don't care who's missing either. Anything that they can do to get the win, that's what they want, and that's what they'll do. Um, but we're gonna have to see what truly takes place. Uh, am I doubting the Suns? Do I think that the series is pretty much over? No, but they're gonna have to work a lot harder than what they're doing. And hey, it's also showing that D Book is needed. It's also showing that D Book is needed because that's the scoring punch right there. That's pretty much your leading scorer right there. Uh, you know, what's up with it, Marco? I see you in the building, man. I'm of the notion like this: if if the Pelicans pull off the unthinkable, I already know that some people are probably gonna make some excuses. That's why I don't want D Book to be hurt. I don't want everybody to be at full strength. I don't like anybody being out. I don't like Middleton being out. I don't like nobody being out. And see, they're already doing it with Brooklyn. They're like, huh, well, Boston is only winning because you know Kyrie is going through his spiritual thing, and they don't have this person, and they're not playing that person. The excuses are already starting to come, but I'm just like, man, take your L and move on. Take your L and move on. I mean, look, nobody, everybody sat up there and discredited Giannis because everybody was shorthanded and all this other stuff. And it's like another excuse that they're going to use. Or they're going to go ahead and they're going to come with the LeBron James theory. Okay, that's just what they're going to come with. They're going to sit there and they're going to say, okay, well, LeBron, he did this and he did that. He given the comparison, which it is true that not only does he have a higher win percentage than uh, Kevin Durant against top ranked defenses, but he was able to single handedly beat a team in the Golden State Warriors uh, in 2016. I'll definitely give you that. That's without a doubt. But I mean, can we talk about something else other than that, than saying that? Or, start arising again just so that you could shit on KD? You said the Pelicans are that fly. You're trying to swat away, but it keeps coming back to mess with you. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But also, I put to you like this, Marco. The Pelicans really don't have as much pressure on them as the Phoenix Suns, because the Phoenix Suns, they had the best record in the league. They had the best road record in the league, and on top of that, they they got the um, at one point they had the number one ranked defense in the league. Or they were like they were top, pretty much we should say top five defense. They had the coach of the year candidate. They had who some people thought saw as an MVP candidate. They had a lot of top things, and the Pelicans, all you saw was them riddled with injuries, stuff like that. And they didn't have Zion. They had a lot of things working against them. Hold on one second, y'all. What's up, 313? You said, do I think the Bucks will close the casket on the Bulls game? 5. Yeah, maybe so. I think it's over. I think it's over for the Bulls because after what I seen, that's what we were talking about last night, Marco. I was talking about that last night. Uh, I don't like what DeMar DeRozan and Zach Levine did. That wasn't cool, man. You know, them walking out like that, that displays poor leadership. You know, you have an opportunity to show people that, you know, you're the best and this is your opportunity and your time to really lead. You don't necessarily have to be, you know, the best player. Like look at Kyle Lowry yesterday. Okay? They won without Kyle Lowry, but what was Kyle Lowry doing? He was still being a leader. He was still coaching. You know, he was still out there, you know, trying to charge everybody up, even when they were, you know, they were pretty much had the game and everything. He was still on the sideline. I mean, pretty much doing Eric Spoelstra's doing his job. I mean, that's not to take anything away from Eric Spoelstra at all. It's just like you know, sometimes, man, the leader has to come from other personnel besides the coach. And DeMar, you know, because Billy Donovan, man, these guys aren't buying in. That's why you know they're ready to move on from Billy Donovan, and or that's why you know that's why he's on the hot seat. And you know what's funny too is I actually happened to like Billy Donovan back in the days when he was with Florida. Well, the thing about that, Marco, is that Giannis Giannis's playmaking I think is very underrated. Giannis Giannis is a very smart basketball player that doesn't get a lot of credit for his intellect in terms of figuring things out. You know, they sit there and they talk about guys like LeBron's intellect and you know he's such a you know a smart basketball player. Or they'll mention of course the late great Kobe, or they'll mention Michael Jordan, or they'll mention like Chris Paul or CP3. Giannis is smart enough to figure out that okay, I could trust my teammates, get others involved, and also still get mine at the same token. I mean, because he's able to get you more than 5 assists, especially, you know, he's figuring out that everybody can, you know, knock shots down too, but also he can still dominate at the same time because he can get his. And that's a powerful thing to do. Not only if, you know, they have see, the thing about it is the reason why a lot of people feel like the Bucks won't be a pushover to the Boston Celtics is because they play a similar style of game too. They can not only stretch the floor with their shooting because they got Grayson Allen, who I'm not really a big fan of. I don't like you know how dirty he is, but I mean he's been playing really good for them. They got guys that can stretch the floor, but they also have defenders besides you know Middleton that's out right now, and Portis and all of those guys. They can play ugly, rugged, and physical, and they can also get out in transition. When you got a guy like Giannis, when you got a guy, you know, like Drew Holiday, when he's on and doing his thing like he was yesterday, and other guys on there, they play like a similar style. That's why a lot of people feel like the Bucks won't be, you know, like a pushover when they play them. And everybody's really anticipating seeing the Bucks. play the Nets. I mean, the Bucks play the Celtics. Sorry about that. But he just keeps getting better. Giannis just keeps getting better. Uh, you see the ratings going up, as I mentioned again and again. The ratings are going up. Hey, that goes to show you, the league, it can survive with a guy like Giannis and everything. Like team ball right now is being preached, not individual ball, not ISO ball, team ball. That's what people like to see. I like to see it too. Look, an individual ball is okay. Individual ball, I mean, was fine. It happened. You saw a lot of it in the Kobe era, in Jordan era. You saw a lot of ISO, whatever. But they also would mix it up. You said, do I think the Grizzlies T Wolves will go seven? Possibly. Hey, that's another series that's right there. Memphis is in trouble, man. Anybody could try to argue me down. They could say whatever. Memphis is in trouble. Memphis is in trouble. And I really do think it was going to go 7 games. Marco, I told Lou the writer, shout out to Lou. I knew that the Celtics series and the Nets series wasn't going to go 7 games, but like Memphis and Minnesota, those teams are there so I mean, it's not even funny because you got young, very young players on both ends. Both of the teams are extremely young. Both of the teams have um, they have guys that are very very athletic on both ends. When you talk about Anthony Edwards and you talk about John Morant, that's going to be like a good. I really feel like it's going to be a great rivalry in the coming years because you have Ja versus Anthony Edwards, two guys that constantly get better from year one to year two. Or well, Anthony Edwards in his case, year one to year two. With Ja, he's gotten better too in the couple of years that he's been in the league. He keeps evolving his game and he gets better. They were saying that he was, a loose cannon and was out of control. He still kind of out of control just a little bit. You know, he was kind of turnover prone at times, and they said that he couldn't shoot. Well, he's improved a little bit in that aspect of his game. Anthony Edwards, same thing. Couldn't shoot. Man, that guy right there was very inefficient. Uh, was airballing shots, but he was highly athletic, but sometimes he was out of control. Well, coming in from year one to year two, his rookie season, you could tell he's been in the gym working, developing. And I like to see stuff like that. Now he ain't no MJ. He ain't no MJ. I don't know why people keep saying that. He's not MJ. What's up with it, Alex? I see you in the building. He's not MJ, but I mean he's gonna if he keeps working at what he got, he's gonna have a fine future. Patrick Beverly has been a difference maker for the Timberwolves. The Clippers Must really be hating. Yeah, I know. Hey, I said the same thing, Martin. The Clippers are like biting their fist. Steve Ballmer and all that other. They biting. They're like, why we let him go? But dead homie, dead homie. He's good for any team. It's just a matter of dealing with his attitude and stuff like that. It's the same thing like with Dennis Rodman. It's the same thing with Ron Artest. Those guys are really great to have, especially when you talk about a lockdown defender, an occasional shot maker. Those guys are a joy to have, but you got to be able to put up what comes with it in terms of their personality. And Minnesota, listen, I, I don't think a lot of credit, Marco, is being given to Alex Rodriguez. I've said this time and time again. If you go back, if y'all want to, if you choose to, go back and look at my videos talking about Minnesota. You'll see that one of the first people that I gave credit to was Alex Rodriguez, because Alex Rodriguez has taken that organization and wanted to change the culture in Minnesota. And on the other end, I got to give credit to a coach that nobody's talking about, and he's actually, some people feel like he should be in running for coach of the year, and Taylor Jenkins. It's like they don't even know who Taylor Jenkins is. It's time to stop listening to these superstars and run organization. What's up with it, Luda Ryder? I was just talking about you. Salute to you, man. Make sure y'all go sub to Luda Ryder Sports. Well, that's what it's about, Lou. Hey, look, A Rod came in there, man. Listen, I, am I the biggest A Rod fan? No, I'm not. Matter of fact, my I was a Mariano Rivera fan. I was a closer in terms of baseball. If we're talking baseball, but A Rod, man, is very slept on as far as his competitiveness. He was just as competitive as a Derek Jeter, a Mariano Rivera, all them guys that were on the Yankees and stuff. And you got to think about it. The Yankees organization, they got a lot of business minded people in there. Okay, yeah, there's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that might be going on and stuff like that. But you got to understand that this guy right here, he wants to win. So him being in that front office, it's going to change. I like them all. They got to, hey, Marco Hinton, it's not just them two. Hey, listen, and I don't like D'Lo's game. D'Lo has been, he'll be on, but sometimes D'Lo can be kind of predictable, especially when you know where he's going. A lot of people look at the left hand and stuff, and they're like, they already know that he's either going like he's gonna shoot left, or he's gonna go to the middle and do like a floater or something, or he's gonna go to the top of the key. But I think they have a good team all together, and they have a bright future. They don't. Hey, they should be proud of themselves for what they did. Okay, I know some people like, oh well, they didn't make it to the Western Conference Finals or nothing like that, but they could build on something. And the thing about it is, I don't want them to go into next season and end up being like a Charlotte, or in a lot of cases like Atlanta. Atlanta should have been better than this year, this season. It's about superstars trying to become billionaires so they can work on one aspect of the game. They're putting points. They don't care about playing defense or team ball. Yeah, because but he's willing to sacrifice to try to play defense because that's what's needed and that's what's of him. And if he does that, guess what? He's going to take away from his team. I know they lost and everything, but if he'd have done that, while Devin Booker there, while CP3's there, while Aiden's there, and all that other stuff, then guess what? You're taking away from there. That's why I was DeAndre Aiden. He doesn't need to score like 30 and 40. Now he needed to do that yesterday. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like all that, 35 and 14 that he put up against Cat, he definitely got to do that. But Valachunas did a tremendous job last night. But I'm just saying though, like you you sacrifice a lot when you just play defense and you do hustle. And sometimes in an era like where Dennis Rodman played and Dikembe Mutombo played and stuff like that, it was a joy to watch those guys play defense and stuff. And so they gave him their recognition. Oh, they'll be like, oh, he's an automatic Hall of Famer. But it's just like when Draymond Green does it, or when Jay Crowder does it, or who's not, he's doing all right. He's having an up and down. Or when, a guy like Patrick Beverly or, Robert Williams, to a lesser degree, well, former defensive player of the year, Rudy Gobert, when them guys do it or whatever, they'll talk about it a little bit, but it's like you got to have offense with it too. So they'll be like, oh yeah, they'll be like, yeah, he's a great defender, that's just about it. But if they're like defense and offense, guess what they say? Oh yeah, well, man, he's one of the best two-way players ever to play. They'll say something like that, but Lou and Marco, in the 80s and the 90s, you had to play, some sort of defense. It's just like Hersey Hawkins. He was a tremendous shooter. Was gonna light you up, but a lot of things that get slept on about a guy like Hersey Hawkins is what? His defense and what he brought to the table. But yeah, you definitely sacrifice a lot, and some people are, some guys are willing to sacrifice, bigger pay, or more points, or more popularity, or even more fame, because when you play, see the point guard position. This is just an example. The point guard position was not. It wasn't supposed to be known as a pretty position. It was known to be a position where you really didn't get a lot of the credit per se in terms of popularity and all that other stuff, because you were so focused on responsibilities of the team and making sure you ran the offense and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Making sure that you set the table, things of that nature, and you put scoring secondary. But now it's like scoring point guards, they get all the glory and stuff like that, and it wasn't the point guard position wasn't supposed to be like that. You said I only like two-way player. I mean, you know honestly, Lou, I never looked at it as two-way players. I just looked at it as That's the way that you're supposed to play. You know, Jordan, you know, he wasn't a two-way player. You know, I mean, he was a two-way player by what you call like a definition. He could play defense and he could play offense, but that's what he was supposed to do. That's what a shooting guard was supposed to do. That's what a small forward was supposed to do. Yeah, Sidney Moncrief, yeah, man. During his early years. Yeah, bro. I remember. And so did Joe Dumars. Alvin Robinson to a certain extent. Uh, Dennis Rodman too. I mean, a lot of people forget that Dennis Rodman, man, used to switch pretty much on everybody. That's before I go ahead and go, I gotta bounce, y'all. Uh, People ask me all the time, why do you have Dennis Rodman as your power forward? Listen, I want I want a guy like I like Duncan. I like Duncan and what he brought to the table. But Duncan can't switch like Dennis Rodman. Um, I like Garnett. Garnett could switch. He's pretty good at switching, but he's not as highly energetic as a Dennis Rodman. He's not all over the floor. He's not willing to sacrifice his body like Dennis Rodman is and everything. But still can Dennis Rodman can run up the floor. Dennis Rodman can rebound. Dennis Rodman will chase down and block. Dennis Rodman will block you straight up. You know what I'm saying? Dennis Rodman he'll catch the occasional, alley oop if needed. He'll hit an occasional three. He'll be accurate if you need him at the line. I wasn't surprised. I wasn't surprised, Marco. Nah, Sidney Moncrief, man, that guy. Nah, he deserved it. Just like Coop deserved it this year, but he got kind of robbed. But other than that, man, I appreciate y'all pulling up. Make sure y'all like the video, share it, subscribe, hit the notification. Polo Sports Talking Entertainment, man. I'll get at y'all later.